In just a moment, I'll be bringing the Bible story to you for today. But first of all, we have a birthday to celebrate. Now, on Tuesday, the 13th of July, it's going to be Emily's birthday, and she's going to be 13. So she's the same age as the date of her birthday. So have a wonderful birthday, Emily. I hope you have a really special day. And of course, you must have your bubbles. There you go. Right, so let's get on with our reading. We're looking at Aquila and Priscilla today. And a lot of the time they were working with Paul. If you remember, we did back in June, we did the story of Paul. So, after Athens, Paul went to Corinth, and that is where he discovered Aquila, a Jew born in Pontus, and his wife Priscilla. They had just arrived from Italy. Paul moved in with them, and they worked together at their common trade of tent making. But every Sabbath, Paul was at the meeting place, doing his best to convince both Jews and Greeks about Jesus. And then after a while, it was time for Paul to move on, and Priscilla and Aquila decided to go with him, and he stopped in a place called Ephesus, and so Priscilla and Aquila decided to stay there for a while. A man named Apollos came to Ephesus. He was a Jew born in Alexandria, Egypt, and a terrific speaker, eloquent and powerful in his preaching of the scriptures. He was well educated in the way of the master and fiery in his enthusiasm. Apollos was accurate in everything he taught about Jesus up to a point, but he only went as far as the baptism of John. He preached with power in the meeting place, and when Priscilla and Aquila heard him, they took him aside and told him the rest of the story. And so when Apollos decided to go on to the Achaia province, his Ephesian friends gave their blessing and wrote a letter of recommendation for him, urging the disciples there to welcome him with open arms. The welcome paid off. Apollos turned out to be a great help to those who had become believers through God's immense generosity. He was particularly effective in public debate with the Jews as he brought out proof after proof about the scriptures that Jesus was in fact God's Messiah. And then the final time that we've come across their story in the Bible is in Paul's letter to the Romans. And he's given a welcome message here. So say hello to Priscilla and Aquila, who have worked hand in hand with me in serving Jesus. They once put their lives on the line for me. And I'm not the only one grateful to them. All the non-Jewish gatherings of believers also owe them plenty, to say nothing of the church that meets in their house.